YouTube, welcome back to another video. Thank you for tuning back into the channel. You see the title of today's video, you know what it's about, but I just want to say I'm sorry for not posting yesterday. I had a lot going on. Was at the gym. I just had a lot going on, you know how that goes, but I just woke up 30 minutes ago to record this video and to make sure that I get it out as soon as I'm done recording. I was actually supposed to go to jiu-jitsu this morning at 5 a.m. However, my hamstrings and my upper back and lower back are both killed from the past 2 gym days that I had. I hit legs on Thursday, and then yesterday, Friday, I hit back. And I'm feeling it. I'm feeling both of those days, man. Oh my God, I'm feeling it. Didn't want to risk injury on the mats, so I decided to just give myself today as a rest day, and then I can go roll tomorrow on the mats or something. But yeah, rest is very important. You don't want to overexert yourself or risk injury when you don't have to risk injury. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. So I wished more people watched anime, and the reason for that is because anime teaches hope. Now you have all these different main characters, right? You have Naruto. He was hated by his village, and don't worry, I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm just gonna give you guys a general overview of some of the mainstream shows. Well, you have Naruto. He was hated by his village. You have Asta in Black Clover. He was born without magic, right? You have Midoriya in My Hero. He was born without superpowers in a society where everyone has powers. And then you have Eren in Attack on Titan, a character who was pretty much oppressed by, let's just call them monsters, titans, right? And he had no freedom because of it. He had to live behind walls when there was a whole world on the outside of the walls, right? And all of these characters are dealt really, really messed up cards, really shitty cards. But that doesn't stop them from not only striving to reach their goals, but to overcome and to become strong enough to where the cards that they were dealt, it didn't even matter, you know? These characters teach that with enough effort, you can turn nothing into something, and that's very philosophical, I feel like, at least. There's not many actual, television shows that I can think of where you have a character that is hopeless, but this character develops into something unrecognizable by, let's just say, the 100th episode, right? And there's probably some shows out there, but this video is not about those shows. This video is about anime. I first started watching anime 10 years ago, and I think the first anime I've seen was, I'll give you guys the first three. The first three: Naruto, Akame ga Kill, and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood was an amazing watch. That is another show where you have a main character tasked with almost the impossible, right? Edward Elric. Pretty much his brother, Al Elric, lost his physical body. So they spend the entire show trying to get Al his physical body back. And the show is very, very interesting, but you see the journey of Edward and Al just overcome these, what seem to be impossible challenges, but with enough grit, determination, training, effort, with enough focus, with enough patience, they overcome eventually. And it's very, very interesting because this is a reoccurring theme in most anime shows where you have a main character with oppression or being alienated and ostracized by like a group of people, or them wanting to reach a goal that they are not cut out for currently, you know? But you get to see as they develop, the people that they become, the traits that they begin to develop, the grit, the determination. Oh man, I could go on and on about how they become different people and transform themselves spiritually to the point to where they're unrecognizable by, let's just say, the 100th episode. Like, you see what this main character has become and what they've accomplished, and you're like, oh shit, that goal, he's gonna accomplish that goal after all, right? So, you know, just having hope is one of the first things that anime teaches you. I'd say the second thing is they show a realistic, they convey what failure truly is. And what I mean by this is, I'll give a few more examples. I'll give an example in Naruto. Naruto is born with a beast inside of him, right? Called the Nine-Tailed Fox. And he's pretty much ostracized by his entire village. They hate him because they think he's a monster. And although he has this monster inside of him, he was still just a kid at the end of the day. You know, he was a kid getting alienated and bullied when he didn't hurt anyone. He was upset and furious and just angsty because everyone hated him, you know? And they just thought he was a problem child, a trouble child. Oh my God, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what that was, but I'm sorry about that. I think that's like a motorcycle or something. That sounds horrible. But anyways, let's get back into it. Naruto was ostracized by his entire village. And his goal was to become Hokage one day. Hokage is basically the strongest leader in the village. And Naruto, he trains towards this goal, but he is met with constant failures. He has some successes, but he has a lot of failures too. He's constantly training, constantly going up against his peers, battling his peers. He's failing a lot. And Naruto conveys that, you know, progression isn't linear and that failure is normal, because Naruto fails publicly, he fails privately, he fails after training, he fails during training. But even though he's failing all these different times, he's not giving up. He's not just quitting, because he understands that failure is how you get stronger, and failure is a part of the process. And that's just one example of how anime teaches that progression isn't linear. Progression looks like this. You know, it looks like you go to the side for a little bit, then you go down, and then you go up, and then you go to the side for a little bit, and then you go down, and then you go up. And it's just a constant progression system of failing, learning, adapting, and then you just continue to do that. Another example, my favorite anime and my favorite manga is Berserk. The main character in Berserk, his name is Guts. And Guts, he doesn't really have any purpose in life initially, right? But then he meets someone who gives him some sort of purpose, and he dedicates his life to that certain someone. Now, without going too much into the storyline of Berserk, because it is a crazy story, Guts is eventually dealt very, very shitty cards. I think the worst cards in all of anime. He struggles with, like, he can't even go to sleep at night because there's demons out to hunt him 24/7. Let's just put it that way. But throughout all of that, he never gives up. He's fighting shit that shouldn't even exist in his world, right? Monsters like colossal Godzilla-sized monsters. But throughout all of that, he never gives up. And now I'm gonna take this time to show off. I love this anime so much that I got the brand of the sacrifice tattooed on my back. And I'll show you guys. Let me stand up real quick. I don't know if you guys can see the brand of the sacrifice tattoo, but I got it right here on my left trap. Guts is tasked. He's not even tasked. He's dealt these cards because of fate, right? Where he has to fight these demons and overcome legitimately impossible things. Like, I'm talking about the things that Guts overcomes in his anime. I haven't seen any other anime where the main character is put in an impossible situation, literally an impossible situation, but overcome every single time. And that's why I got the brand of the sacrifice tattooed on me, because it's a symbol of, like, every time I think I can't do something, I remember to myself, I have this tattoo, right? And when I think that, I think to myself, what would Guts do, right? Would he just give up? Would he just bend or break? No, this motherfucker will go any length possible to make sure he's overcoming, or make sure he's surviving, right? So this tattoo that I have on my back is just a symbol of resilience and a symbol of fortitude, to never stop and to always keep going, no matter how dark or how gloomy things may get. Let me fix the camera right here for a sec, bring it closer to me. But yeah, I'd say the last reason why I wished more people watched anime is that anime conveys dreams better than, I'd say, most forms of media. And what I mean by that is, like, Naruto had a dream of becoming the Hokage. Luffy had a dream of becoming Pirate King. Or I should say has a dream, right? They have these dreams, and then Asta has his dreams of becoming, I believe it's the Wizard King or some shit. But they have these dreams that are so far out of reach for their current versions of themselves, but they continuously work towards these dreams. Like, you see day by day, episode by episode, training session by training session, you see these characters work towards the goals that seem incredibly out of reach, but they work towards them. They don't focus so much on the goal, they focus on the process of achieving that goal. And that is something that is priceless, and it's very, very, very important to apply that same concept to your life too. These characters, they're not just pixels or cartoons, they're symbols of, you know, freedom, of resilience, of fortitude, of focus. They embody and internalize what it takes to be successful. And it's not many shows, or not many forms of media in general show that, but anime shows that. I wished more people watched anime, but I wished more people realized as well that with enough effort, they could achieve the impossible. You know, with enough effort, they could do the things that they didn't think that they could do. And anime shows this perfectly. Yeah, they may be living in fantasy worlds, right? But the same moral, the same lesson applies in their world, right, to our lives. So people could learn a lot from these characters. People could learn a lot from their journey. The hero's journey in these shonen anime is something that a lot of young men, I feel like, could relate to, and a lot of young men could take the traits and qualities from these main characters and just try to embody them and apply them to their life. Now, anime is a very controversial subject, a very controversial thing, but I feel like it's becoming a bit more mainstream as time goes on. But if you haven't taken excuse me, if you haven't taken away anything from this video, take away this. Anime is more than just, you know, a cartoon. It's a story about a hero or a villain doing the impossible, and it's not about them achieving the goal, right? It's about the person that they become to achieve that goal, and that is very, very reflective of real life. But with all that being said, I just want to thank you guys for watching this far. Like, comment, subscribe, share, man, repost, share it to your mama, share it to your brother, share it to your dog. Just share it with people, man. Because I believe that if people watch anime, they could definitely, you know, learn a few things or two. But with all that being said, thank you for watching this far. I love each and every one of you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.